Alright, what you see here is a Hampton Bay Carousel ceiling fan. I got this from Aden Ceiling Fan Corner. This is a very rare version of the Carousel. One of the obvious reasons that it has the logo on the switch housing, but also the fact that it is a blacklight reflective version, as you can see right here. Now, a lot of people did not know this was actually a thing. Basically, for those who don't know, the Hampton Bay Carousel is a knockoff of the Beverly Hills fan company, California Surfer. And if you've never seen what those look like, Dan Newman has a video of those that someone sent a video of them to him at his shop down in Florida. So yeah, originally nobody knew that these existed for the most part. I think there was like one person that commented on a post about it on a group saying that they remember seeing this one on the display in 1995. So I guess there was at least one person that knew about these. But aside from that, all these years, basically, it was unknown that the Hampton Bay Carousel was also made like with the blacklight reflective paint for a very short time. And I am showing off the switch cap this time. Since it actually came with it, I figured, since it's not often that you see these with the switch cap, I figured I might as well go ahead and do so. I gotta say though, it actually does look pretty good with just a switch cap. But yeah, this is like an extremely rare version of the Carousel. There's a tag up on the top, but it does not tell me how old the fan is. I'm guessing this fan ranges from about 1995 to 1997. So it's somewhere around that time period. It actually could very well be the very first version of the Hampton Bay Carousel. And there was another version that might have been before this one or after this version. That was made by SMC that had basically the SMC type switch cap with the nicks in them that had a spotlight. It was basically SMC Park Avenue, but made to look like a carousel. I'm not sure if this version came out first or if that one did. But yeah, in that version, we're still not sure if that one's also blacklight reflective. But yeah, this is a blacklight reflective version. Now, after filming it with the light, I had noticed that there was an ad on, like an older Home Depot ad that shows from like the late 90s or the mid to late 90s that they had sold a certain fan from Beverly Hills Fan Company. So that makes me believe that at some point, I guess they might have gave Home Depot permission to do this fan, I guess. Or something like that. I'm not too sure if they lost the rights to do it later on after the company changed, or if they like changed partnership. But at the same time, Encon made their own version of it as well, the Encon Festival. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case. It also could just be that not so many people were really using it for the blacklight reflective look to it, so they just figured they'd switch it over to the regular primary colors on it. That's just my guess, but yeah, it's definitely an oddball fan. But yeah, the fan's in pretty good shape. With spotlights are a bit dinged up, but the rest of the fan itself is in pretty good shape. But I mean, when it comes to spotlights, it's either hit or miss. Usually they're in good shape, or they're decent shape, or they're pretty beat. And in this fan's case, they were pretty beat. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start off on the low speed. I won't say that they were really beat, but they were just extremely loose. It was like around the time period where Hampton Bay's spotlights were very flimsy. But later on, they kind of made them a bit more decent. It's definitely a fan I could see like in an arcade, a 90s version of Dispensers or Hot Topic. kids' places and such, toy stores. So a lot of places I could see these at it back in the 90s and early 2000s. Chuck E. Cheese being one. And it does hum quite a bit. I am using a mounting bracket that's not original to the fan. I don't know where I put the original one, but this one I found and it fitted, so I figured I'd use it on it. As for time purposes, I figured I'd just use the one that I know at least will fit it. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely moving a decent breeze on low. And the pull chain that you see on this is not original to the fan. It was just a spare one I got off of eBay. And I colored it black to match what this fan would have came with if it had the original pull chain. As the earlier version of the Carousel had the black wooden pull chains like this, and then later on they switched them over to the Hampton Bay logo ones and such. Right, whoops. Now let me go ahead and show it the Blacklight. I might turn on the second one. I see what it wasn't that bright looking. Oh, not so much that, just on camera it looked a lot darker. But yeah, like at laser tag places, like there's a lot of places I could see these in. Alright, now to move it up to medium. One thing I don't know if I mentioned already earlier in this video, but this one is made by CEI. And I've already checked the blade arms, and they say CEI. They have like some sort of thing engraved. I just can't figure out what it says to figure out how old it is, because that is a way that they usually would date them. The blades, however, do say 91 on it. Though I know for a fact this thing is not from 1991 because the Carousel was not made that far back into the 90s. Originally what I thought it could have been is a relabeled Encon Festival, because I know around the mid-90s they did have some models that were basically relabeled Encons. Like the Minuet at one point was a relabeled Encon Petit. The carriage house was made by Encon at some point. Same thing with the Rockport. It wouldn't surprise me if the Harbor Light was a relabeled Encon at some point. Alright, now to show us the Blacklight. Yeah, that laser tag place. It's in the same city where I used to work at Savers. They have two Hampton Bay gazebos from the '90s era, in the laser tag area, and in the party room they have a Hampton Bay Minuet too, a Power Max version. One of the horseshoe brackets basically in Saint and brass. Seeing this fan in person, I feel like this would have looked really. If they had two of these in place of the Hampton Bay gazebos, it would look a lot cooler. No, I feel like the place opened up in the late '90s due to the fact that they had a later gazebo and a later, like a somewhat later version of the Minuet too. So they probably opened it up around like '99 or 1998 or 1999, one of those 2 years. So I feel like at that point they didn't make this no more. So, but if they were still making them like this, it would definitely would have been a cooler option, I think, if they put these in there. All right, and move it up to the high speed. I don't think about it. I think it's actually the first time I'm testing a fan that's multicolored but doesn't have a light on it. It's definitely moving a pretty good amount of air, considering it's a home center fan. It's hard to tell if it moves more air than the one that I have from my childhood, the one that I got in 2001, but it's actually made back in 1999. That was an air-cooled version. And it's been a little while since I tested that one down here too, but I also tested that one. It was like pretty hot in this basement, so back when the that wooded board over there was sealed up completely, so it was trapping all the heat down here. I'd have to pull that one out and retest it to really see if this one's stronger or not. At the same time, that one, the blade arms aren't really, don't have the proper pitch from factory, so that kind of does mess things up a bit with the performance. Honestly, now, like this standing underneath it, like I definitely could say it's very possible that it moves more air than the other one that I have from my childhood. But I really had to test that one with weight arms that are still pitched from factory and such. It's funny because with these fans, well, the Carousel is more altogether like the later ones. They're not a hard fan to find. You see them a lot like in houses, but in terms of like seeing them out in public, that's what's more of a rare sighting. Because they're definitely not a hard fan to find. Though this version is definitely a very rare version. I mean, it's only one that's surfaced in the community and such for fan collecting. But yeah, this from, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's the most iconic looking multicolored ceiling fan out there. And it is I am kind of biased with that statement also because it is my biggest childhood fan. But it's just like in terms of seeing like rainbow fans out there, I feel like this is the one I see the most, especially like seeing them like being sold on like for resale on like marketplace and stuff like that. It's always usually the carousel I see out of any other rainbow fan. Alright, now release. Spin down. Yeah, surprisingly for me, it doesn't seem that strange seeing it without a light kit. Like, it actually looks normal seeing it like this. I think it's just more so like the body of the fan, like this, the design to it, aside from the colors, just makes it look normal and such. I know, it's definitely a fan I consider installing somewhere. It's just I would have to work on the spotlights on it. I mean, I'd prefer to have the childhood one installed in like a game room, but if this one moves more air and it's also one that can glow with the blacklight reflective look to it, I'd probably go with this one. All right, now for reverse. All right, now for high. And it definitely does go pretty fast on reverse. There's some fans that tend to look like they're going a lot slower on reverse. This fan's definitely not the case. Alright, and that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.